Hi everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to build this 1/400 scale parking garage number 2 for your model airport. I hope you enjoy it.
Before we get started with the project, let's review some of the tools that we're going to need to complete this project. First of all, paper. You need to print all the different pieces for the specific project you're working on. You can use cardstock or you can use photo paper. You want something that is very heavy and thick. Cardstock works very nice, but I prefer using photo paper because the quality is better, the images are sharper and nicer. Uh, but again, you can use cardstock, it works pretty well. When you set up your printer, you want to set it up to the highest quality possible. And a lot of the printers, you go to preferences and then it shows you a bunch of, regular paper, photo paper, whatever. Always select photo paper, and then depending on the photo paper you're using, whether it's glossy or matte, then you set the printer accordingly. Also, if you're printing on cardstock, still use the photo paper setting. Photo paper in this case will be photo paper matte. On some of the buildings that you're going to be building, if they have a lot of glass, what I do is I print that on glossy paper, but most of the stuff I use the matte because it's going to be like cement or brick or whatever, so you don't want that thing to be all nice and glossy. So make sure that whichever one you choose to use, set it to photo and the highest quality possible. Next, we have to cut the paper, all the different pieces. So for that, I usually use an X-Acto knife. Be careful. These things are very, very sharp. For certain projects also you need a pair of scissors to cut some corners and stuff. It's a lot easier to do it with scissors. And then to guide you in the cutting, a nice ruler. I again prefer metal rulers because you don't have the problem with the blade kind of going in there if it's plastic or something like that. So get your ruler and get your cutting utensils. When it comes to gluing the whole thing together, I like to use contact cement. These are two of the ones that I use. I use a lot of them. Again, if you don't want to use these, that's okay. Anything that works for you. And in certain occasions, I have been using lately a stick glue. So again, whatever works for you, try the different ways and see, what works better for you. Also, I like to have around a marker. Sometimes you need to mark certain things or cover when you fold things, if it's black and then the fold is white, then you put the marker to cover that. And also once in a while you'll see me using a little bit of tape because if I'm putting something together and it's kind of small, the tape gives it a little bit more reinforcement. So anyways, this is basically what I use for doing these projects. Let's go ahead and get started. For the parking garage number 2, you're going to have to print the top and the long sides and then the short sides separately because I couldn't fit it all on one page. So what we're going to do is cut this one first, then these two, and then put the whole thing together. So before I get started, I just want to talk about the way I like to cut things. I like to go from the outside to the inside, flip it, outside to inside, flip it, so on and so forth. There are two types of cuts that I do. One is what's called the score. This is a very, very light cut that you make. It doesn't go through the paper. You put very little pressure on the blade. This is for the corner. So when you flip over the corner, then it's nice and sharp. And then the cut itself, that one is a full cut going through the page. So just to give you an idea, if I want to do a score, like I said, very little pressure, just go through so that if I want to bend it, you see is a nice sharp edge. So let's start with this one here. Again, from the outside to the inside, I have a score that goes all the way through, and then a couple of cuts here and here. So the score, the line will be dotted. So what you want to do is you want to line here and then align with the other dotted line on the other side. A cut is going to have a solid line. Or in this case, the little arrows will show you which way to go. So you line these two up. I like to do my scores first. So you do the score, and then next you do the cut, and then you do the cut. Just to there, you don't go cutting all the way in. Now if I go here, there's going to be a cut that we have to make here for this top. Cut here, cut, cut, and then a score. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the score. So the score is going to be between these two. So again, very light. And then there's this cut here. What happens is it's going to be like an up and down ramp on the garage, so that's why we need to flip it in there. So we're done with this. Let's go on this side. Same thing, there's a score line here. A score, a cut, and a cut. So you score, cut, and cut. And over here is just a score line. Now we go here, now we need to cut this line here. Try to make sure to make the cut inside of the white line. So just this little line here. And then there is a middle cut for both of them. It'll be here. And then this one will be there. And that's it. So we go to this side and we start with a score. And then a small cut here. And then a small cut here. And then the score there. And then the cut there. Let me see this one. No, okay. Then over here, we do this cut, and I think already, yeah, I already did those two. Good. So then on this one, you do a score, cut, cut. And this one is a score with a cut and a cut. And I believe we are done. Let's see if everything falls okay. Okay, so forgot to make a couple of cuts here. Okay, and now we are good to go. Let's go now with the side, same type of deal. This is a cut. This one is also a cut. And this one is a score with a cut. This one is a cut. This one is a score with a cut. And then this cut just goes to there. This one is a cut. This one is a score, and it's also a cut, and a cut. This one is a cut. Okay. Let me see if I got, yeah, I missed this one. Yeah, I missed that one there. No biggie. Okay, so make sure that everything folds. This one looks like I missed that cut. This should have been a fold. Apologize for that. Okay. Wow. Okay, so we're ready to put this whole thing together. So what I want to do is go ahead and build this one first, and then we attach the sides and then put it together. So let's fold these first to give it some strength. Oops. You see something like that. If you make that mistake, just go ahead and you see what happened is on that score I did a little bit too hard, so it went through the paper. But that's not a problem because just put a little piece of tape and we're ready to go. So fold these two. Put some glue, put some glue. And what I like to do in the corners is to use my thumb to feel where the corner comes in. And make sure that they are nice and square. Okay. Let's go ahead and make sure that everything here is nice and glued. So now let's go ahead and glue the sides. What we're going to do is glue this, then these two are going to overlap on the outside, and then this guy wraps in and locks in. So I'm going to put a little glue here. So the easiest way is to just come in here and line it up there, and then just basically flip it over. And use this flap to kind of guide you in. When this guy comes in, he locks everything in place. And then these two little flaps on the side. So again, you want to make sure that you press everything real good. So let's do the other side. So once again, bring this in. This guy's flip in, and then this one flips in here. So again, I like to go around the corners. To make sure everything is nice and where it's supposed to be. Okay, so now all you have to do is kind of push these in a little bit just to kind of make it look like there's going to be other floors and stuff. So here it is, your parking garage. Parking garage number 2.